I think so.
Right.
Well,
Here we go. You can just see our heads. We're just hanging on. It's even damp on the table. Oh, look at that sunset. Sort of. Maybe see some of it. Not sure. Bit pinkish.
you can see some of it.
What about it? The moon. I'm not sure if we can see it. Maybe, maybe not. The moon's there. Somewhere here. Maybe a bit lower. A bit higher. There is a moon, trust me. Somewhere in those trees is the moon. Oh, I can't pick it up. Can't see it. Oh well. There is a moon, trust me. Sticky day today. Did you get a response to your schnapp?
No. Nope. Oh.
Can't really see because it's so bright. I'll try and turn it around. The red allows me to see it from the fence. Ooh, floppy phone holder. That's because it's been so hot. Yes. Something like that. What's that?
A dog.
Did you get something from DJ,
Yeah.
did you?
That's me.
Did you send that?
No. I just got the camera turned
Oh.
around.
I see. So I didn't see. I didn't hear the ukulele. Could you?
Yeah, I had it on.
couldn't hear it.
I had it on full volume.
Can
you
you
checked
get
yours?
it again? No, I haven't got anything.
No.
I'm not special.
So you did. You looked. Oh. Showering.
Somewhere over the rainbow.
I should just laugh at the ones I sent her. Well, they're not showing. I don't know.
At least it's a bit cooler tonight. Less sticky. G'day. How are you? All right? First, solar light comes on. There's a strange light there. You see it?
Yeah, it's the table.
Yeah, but where's the light coming from?
Probably your buckle from your cover. It's,
No.
well, put the finger in front
It's
of...
a sign, I tell you. It's coming. There. What is that?
Oh, the lighter.
No.
Yeah, go put your hand on top there. I don't know.
It's a mystery. We have a light. There. It's unexplainable. What is it? Could be someone reaching out from the other side. What do you mean the other side? Well, fence? No. Beyond reality? Of course. And when I move the camera, it doesn't move. Do you know what it is? It's the reflection from the moon.
Yeah, there you go.
Mystery solved. Let's have a quick look. There is the moon there, if you can see it. And for some reason, it's reflecting on the table. Rather picturesque. So it didn't come from this world. I was right.
Came from another world.
I'm crossing you in the stars someday.
Mel's busy and Buttercup might have no power, so no one might come in.
She was talking about solar earlier this year. Well, no problem about keeping food cold because it's winter. But you won't be able to get it on the internet. No telly.
I really think you should change the restriction on your video.
Must be a close full moon, do you think?
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's quite a full moon.
No, it's not.
It's missing a bit.
Quite nice out here, but it's not cooling down in the back of the house. Should open the windows.
Must be cool with the birds are singing before bedtime.
Yeah.
still in bed.
It's 7:30.
Yeah. What is it, Thursday?
Yeah. I'm just going to have fruit tomorrow.
That's what I had tonight. It was nice.
Yep. Actually, haven't really felt hungry since this hot weather.
No.
I just ate because we ate.
Well, we haven't eaten much.
Yeah, it's still.
Really? William eats more than us here.
I'm just having fruit tomorrow.
The sun's going down a little bit earlier each night.
Yeah. Stays shade over there longer.
In the morning.
Yeah.
Slightly. Trying to stay in as much as I can tomorrow. I don't know when Garen's supposed to be here.
I reckon when the flooring's finished. I think they keep in contact with him. That's why the doors haven't finished put on properly, why screws aren't in there. The floor guy told me today.
No, yeah. I knew.
He did pretty good. It's only one floor he's got to shave a bit.
It's not the floor he's got to shave, it's just the door.
I mean the door. And that's why he hasn't put the door on in the office. Because of waiting for the floor to be put down first. Too hard to have anyone else in there when they're doing the floor anyway.
No, I've just been keeping ahead of him. I should have done the walk-in room door tonight. Forgot. I was going to stain it, varnish it. But it is a nice night. A nice, good night for a barbie. Hello, Death. I smell liquid nitrogen.
Huh?
Sure it's not helium? Or at least with an oval about 1,000 yards away. They train for different sports there. They even play night sports there because they've got lights. How's life treating you, Death? That's a funny statement, isn't it? Sage and Death. The wisdom of death. Being the sage.
I know.
No, that's a whistle from someone.
No, a train did go by.
Well, we have trains, planes and automobiles. We've got everything. Birds.
See, that's a train. It's just
Yeah.
left the station.
Not as quick as the trains in Germany, that's for sure. Whew.
I could have slept in this morning. Lucky I had my alarm on.
I got up early to open it up for them because it was steaming in there. Midlands. All right, that'll do. There's only about 4,000 kilometres of train track in Perth. Midlands is a good guess. What vicinity are you in, Death? I mean, you're everywhere, of course. Death is everywhere. I know you're busy at the moment with the coronavirus, but at least you've taken time to come visit us, which is very kind of you. And you've got petulance to offer.
You should change your status of your chat.
Why?
Because I just reckon.
Tuned up. Relatively new line, of course, in the last 20 odd years.
Haven't been
Goes
there.
all, I think it goes all the way to Turox, doesn't it?
Yeah, I haven't been there for years.
Yanship Sun City. Remember the Ellen Bond Yanship Sun City? It's going to be the new Gold Coast. Butler.
Butler, that's it.
Looked at buying a house in Butler. But where they are, you get a big house for a fairly cheap price. The ocean's just a stone's throw away in Butler. Or you get to see it, depends where you buy. Go to Yanship.
The
It was
train
the
line.
late 70s, early 80s, Alan Bond pushed Yanship to be the new Gold Coast. Didn't happen.
It looks like Buttercup's got no power.
That's no
Or
good.
no internet, maybe.
You could try and call her. See if you can get hold of her.
No, I messaged her.
All right. Maybe she's got a bike with a gyro motor on it.
Like that person today.
Just run the internet
That we
powerful
saw.
enough to say g'day.
Person on the push bike.
Making a milkshake.
drink.
That was weird.
Pedal power.
We're in the Midland Shopping Centre today, and we watched a lady riding a push bike making a milkshake. I thought, yeah, that could come in handy. Stars around, very nice.
So what have you been up to today, Sage?
Those poor buggers on that boat, eh? Sunset Coast dinner thing. Ooh, la-di-da, wine and cheese and crackers probably a smorgasbord of sorts. They're nice cruises to go on. We've done quite a few. We're certainly spoiled as far as night time in summer. Pretty good weather most of the time. It's cooler on the water. And usually reasonable, 50, 60 bucks a head for evening dinner. Sometimes a cabaret of sorts. So you worked out what you're going to do with all the boards? Sunset Markets, I see, yeah. Scarborough Beach,
yep,
yeah.
yep.
Another Alan Bond area.
I don't know. I just put them somewhere.
I used to look after Alan Bond. Do you know that, Death? You probably did. Now that Alan's gone, of course you'd communicate with him. Yes, he spent a little time with me.
Those markets are supposed to be pretty good down at Scarborough.
Scarborough Beach. Observation City Hotel. Alan Bond. A conversation with him, suggesting, that will the taxman get all of the money back? And Alan said, good luck to them. He was still trading from the inside. The odd phone call here. The odd secret coded message. Still, he did win the America's Cup.
And that was his downfall. Got too big for his boots.
Yeah, sort of the era of Robert Holmesy Court, Bond. And of course our infamous Premier in Western Australia, Brian Burke, also spent a little time with me. Spend a little time with me. Elected officials, corruption, yeah, that's normal for government. And the difference between Brian Burke and many others is Brian got caught. I see we lost a famous actor today, Kirk Douglas, at 103 years of age. That's pretty good. He wouldn't be complaining. Well, he's not obviously complaining. Well, you should know this, Death. Maybe you should have broke the news to us.
Let's just think about it, 103.
Well, my grandfather was 104.
And that friend of ours' grandmother was 114.
We had a friend, Alex, who had a grandmother who lived to be 114, and she was local.
And she was on the news when she got to 112.
Yeah? Not as if she was sick, she just didn't wake up one day.
Yeah.
112 years old.
I think she outlived a couple of her kids, which is sort of sad.
Imagine if you lived to be 112, Sage. For me, that's another 50 years. What would the year be then? 2070? My goodness. It's hard to fathom.
Yeah, it is.
It's actually cooled down enough tonight for us to get a decent sleep, Sage, but you'd know that. Nice change from the humidity we've had the last 3 days and the heat. breakfast on the standby.
Yep.
One of our grandson loves crumpets. Every morning he's got to have crumpets. Peanut butter
On one and Vegemite on the other.
and Vegemite on the other. Why? Because that's Australian. Let Frank know the colour for the walls when he does the selling. Let him know in advance. Because you picked out a card, didn't you?
Yeah, actually, where is that card gone? So you reckon Jarrah skirtings won't look any good?
What?
Jarrah
Not
skirting.
that they won't look any good, but having it like the doorways is the feature instead of having it connected with a...
Well, that's what I was thinking. It goes like that.
But you've already got Jarrah on the floor, is what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
I know. I just thought it would look nice with the Jarrah skirting.
Well, you'll be paying for it. So we'll have a short hangout tonight.
Yeah, I've got none. Empty.
Get some for us.
I can just see the glow. See that light coming on that little light is from the moon. It just moved. It's quite peaceful. I put the torch on the floor near the door, but I hadn't turned it on. Thank you. See the lights come back from the moon.
Spooky.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Here is the news. It's cooler, which is good because it's been very hot. It's down to probably about 28 now. Coolest it's been in days, which is good. far as we know, Buttercup has no power, which is not good.
Or problems with her power.
Seed, did you see the flooring in your house? It's really classy. Yes, it is. Thank you for that, Bully. You obviously looked at the video.
Change the settings now.
No.
Okay.
No, I'm sure he's talking about our floorboards,
Yeah.
which is very kind of him, of course. Actually, with our floorboards, you could buy probably 12 Lisa Marie's. But I'm sure Bully knows that.
Our flooring's better.
Mm. It was a bug. I think the word delusional comes to mind, Bully.
It
Seriously.
only says that to push buttons.
Yeah, we know that. Yeah, it's probably worth
5.
2. Well, if that was the case, Bully, that means our floorboards are worth twice as much.
Or 3 times.
Just the floor, well, it could be 3 times actually.
And the road's not worth 20k.
Interesting, the flooring guy's saying how scarce it's getting.
Mm-hmm.
This means they won't probably allow it to be used for flooring in the future. It'll just be reserved for furniture.
Or even that might change. It'll go to quicker growing trees. I can understand
Well, that's about half our flooring, Bully, so you're nearly there.
I don't really want... I don't want a forest destroyed just for aesthetics.
No, we're probably lucky when we got it.
Of 25. God.
So did you buy a 15-inch MacBook Pro, Bully? Is that what you bought? Trying to keep up with us, are you? That's probably what he's doing. Every time he sees us get a new thing, he wants to get it. MacBook Pro in gold. What's the gigabyte on it? Yeah, ours is 250 something. I don't know what it is. I never use that much anyway. I've actually got a gaming computer worth more than the Lisa Marie. Worth a lot more. And I don't even game. Maybe I should send it to Bully.
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
No.
What's not true? What's he talking about?
I
do have a gaming computer. It's an i7. You're delusional. But we know that, Bully. Did you see I sang a song for you today, Bully? I thought you'd come in here and praise me and thank me. But nothing. Unappreciative. Maybe I'll delete it. That might be the best thing to do. Go and have a quick look.
Listen to it.
Just woke up. Oh. Been on the computer all night, eh? I think Danny would be at work already, wouldn't you?
I don't know. It's always quiet on a Thursday.
Well, if John's coming to do the electrics, it means the power will go on to the back of the house. You'll just close off these circuits here. I'll put a closed circuit pin in, and we'll have lights. But remind me to ask him about the smoke alarm.
Oh, yeah.
If not, we'll just go and buy one and tell him to put it in.
Yeah. I think actually that's how it works. I think you've actually got to supply your own.
No, a new build should have one in plan. By law.
Yeah, I know new build should have one. But I'm saying I think that's up to the owner.
No.
No, I think you find it is.
I'm happy just to have one that fits on the wall, on the ceiling. Doesn't have to be hardwired, unless the law's changed.
The laws have changed. They've got to be hardwired.
Well, they'll have to do it.
But still has to be battery backup. Because if the power goes out, it's like the one in the hallway.
Yep.
It's hardwired but battery backup. Which... how often are you supposed to have them checked? Well, I've got to... It's going to do a little bit of other work, so...
The security system.
Well, yeah. The lights. All right.
Yes, have a good evening. Whatever you do,
Have a
don't
good sleep,
don't
Sage.
head for Bex. That powdered headache powder was terrible in the 70s.
Oh, I used to love it.
Awful stuff.
No, I used to love it. Bex powder, Mum and Dad.
Sleep well,
In the
Beth,
box.
but remember to wake up.
I remember Bex. That was dangerous stuff, actually.
I think years later they said no one should have ever taken it. It had compounds in it that weren't real good. It's like talcum powder. It was light.
You seen the price of Enos? Because I was going to buy one the other
I've never
day.
had Enos.
Oh, well, that helps sometimes with an upset tummy. Or
Right.
just general whatever. Used to always have it in the house. But it is now for a jar, because you use a teaspoon and a glass. Cold water's better. $11 or $12.
How long does it last? If you open it, you probably throw it away after a year.
Oh, yeah, but like sometimes, you know, when you feel like you've got a burp and you can't, or you've got an upset tummy, it helps with that. Like, what's that other one? I'll have to have a look at the shop tomorrow. That's like the Coles brand. Vicks is $1 something,
Yeah,
and the
branded one.
is nearly $8, $9.
Same stuff. It's ridiculous.
You used to be able to buy Enos, Coles brand, was about $2, and the brand is about 12, 11, 12 bucks.
Yeah, I noticed a few of the prices in the shop have gone up by quite a lot.
Yes, but it's been a while since the shelves have been as full as they were yesterday.
Did I get eggs today?
Yeah, you did. Wait till Bully comes back and then I'm going to go and have a shower.
You might not come back.
Yeah, every time I plug something in, the whole system trips. Extension leads everywhere.
Tell her to pull out the toaster from the wall and any electric kettle. Just tell her to do that. It's tripping is because the amperage is going over.
The fridge freezers are just arriving. Something's wrong with the sockets.
Or something's tripping it. It's either an iron, toaster.
It's not getting checked till Saturday morning.
Just tell her if she got a toaster, unplug the
Yeah,
microwave.
yeah, but she's still saying she's not going to risk plugging a computer in or anything
Well, she's online then.
through a phone,
Oh,
like we.
I see. So it's not, she might not have the internet.
That's right.
Well, yeah, because it has to be Wi-Fi, doesn't it?
No.
Okay.
You can go do live, going for G, whatever.
Okay. Well, that's another police chase. We had a beauty last night. Normally you can hear the roar of the speeding car. I think Bully liked his song. He's laughing. You're most welcome. Now I think it's your turn to sing to me. Maybe if you do a cooking video and sing at the same time, you can kill two birds with one stone. Well, obviously you can't cook either, because I haven't seen that cooking video you promised. Maybe you just hum. Thank you very much, Lake. I'll get round to you eventually. Can I have a wrench for the day? I'll speak to my advisor. And she says...
No.
Oh. Okay, yeah. Maybe come back next month and ask the same question. But you don't need a wrench in here. I don't allow anyone to attack anyone, as you found out. No, that's not true. Buttercup is a very gentle soul. But we'll crush you if you cross her, which is only fair. Sending me messages saying what she would do to me. Oh well, take that as advice. It's probably not an attack at all. It's probably just a bit of cultural retraining.
Who's sending who messages?
Bully's being threatened by Buttercup, apparently. She probably sent words like pull your head in or shut the up.
Messages through what? How?
Through telepathy, I think.
Where?
So I did ask you a question the other night, Bully, and you disappeared. So I'll ask it again and see if you disappear again. Where have you travelled in the world? She already answered
No.
you. I'll tell him again.
No.
So you have not been out of the United States. It sounds like you might have just snuck outside your state boundaries. I don't know. Don't know why you haven't travelled. You've obviously got a few dollars behind you and got every Apple iPad ever made and MacBook Pros. And man, you got all that stuff's great to travel with. Maybe you could go to, I don't know, a good place for you to go at the moment because it's very cheap at the moment and his flights are really cheap. Maybe you could go to Wuhan in China.
Well, how much of your own area have you seen then?
I reckon Bully's probably seen both ends of his county. Stopped on the border of the county and thought, I ain't going out there. The world is not nice. Actually, you can't carry any weapons in China, by the way, if you happen to go to China. go to China, you're not allowed to like carry anything. Maybe a can of Coke, and nothing else.
Oh, well, get your passport in order and do a bit of travelling.
Travel broadens the mind. And I have to tell you, I'm going to break this to you very gently, Bully. The United States of America, as wonderful place as it is one country. Oh, I don't have a passport. $100 to fix that. Unless you can't travel by air. Maybe the wheelchair holds you back. He wouldn't get into China. He hasn't got a passport. I got my car registration today, Lake, for the year payment. And have a guess what just registering a car in Australia is for 1 year. Throw some dollars at me, see, as metaphoric, what do you think the price was? It's just a mild 6-cylinder V6, nice car, about 2007. Bully says 200. That wouldn't even get you 3 months registration, Bully. Hello,
Hey.
Danny G. I'll tell you what it was. It was $840 for 12 months.
Oops, I called her wrong. Geez, my spell check decides to work. I have to correct that.
840, Lake. And then I've got to pay separate insurance.
Wow, 90.
Which brings it up to about, was it 50? $1,400 for the year to have the car fully insured and registered. $1,400.
Do you have a car, Bully?
No, he drives an iPad. It's got a couple of training wheels on it. Top speed of about 15 megabytes.
Oh, what a moped.
Very costly in Australia. I mean, just deep sewer, water supply, rates, nothing to do with usage of water, is about $250 every 2 months. So what does that work out? That's $1,500 just for that. Is it because of the pollution? No. Car registrations have always been abnormally high in Australia.
Sometimes they sneak a tax on top that you don't know about and you find out later. Did you... Oh, okay.
Can't you just use the phone number to do it, or you sent it to Danny? Why so much? That's the price. And Willie, how much do you pay for a gallon of gasoline where you are? They're the same price. You don't move out of your state, so it won't vary much. What's the price of a gallon?
Okay, we'll check that after this, Danny. Usually you need a phone number, Danny, to add people to WhatsApp.
$2.28? That's about $5 short of what we pay for a gallon, Bully. Try just over $7 a gallon. You want to come live in Australia, Bully? Yeah. But people on fairly good wages. Australia is a pretty healthy nation as far as wages go. A bit more than that, Lake. We pay $100 for 2 ounces of tobacco. Marijuana's cheaper, apparently. Fill the car up, or I don't have a big tank of mine, I'd say $90, $95.
Work.
I think mine's a 14-gallon tank, 15, I don't know. Gets good mileage though, which is good. The average cost of, say, an SUV. Now this is worked out by roadside insurance companies like the RAC, or, you know, you've probably got an equivalent in the US. The average cost to run a SUV is probably about $450 a week, which brings in depreciation, the cost of gas, repairs, tyres, etc. Do you get retirement pay from the government? I'm eligible for a retirement payment at age 65.
They call it like the pension, isn't it?
Depends what you've got in the bank or investments, they'll take that into account. Actually, you're better off taking our public transport is superb. We can get into the city in 15, 20 minutes, out to the airport. Even things like Uber are cheap, really. About $15 to get to the airport. About the same to get to the city, really, isn't it, by Uber? Just the cost of living is very high. The average family of, say, 2 adults and 2 kids would spend $350 a week on food.
67.
100% benefits at 67. It's 65 here. I think it goes on your age, Danny. I think you're quite correct. If you were younger in Australia, I think it does creep to 67.
It depends the year you were born.
Yeah, the year you were born.
Well, we've got a politician, I can't remember his name, was somewhere and couldn't even walk up a hill. He had to lean on another member of parliament to get up this hill or something, right? Yet, you'll probably know his name when I say this, yet he's the one who wants...
Clive Palmer?
He wants to retrain people to work till they're 70 and he
can't even walk.
Walk up the hill, yeah.
No, you don't need a wrench, Billy. You just have to have behavioural moderation.
Buttercup's not going to do anything to you. No wrench. Behave yourself. You'll be fine.
We've got superannuation, which is like your 401k. That's separate. If you put money away whilst you're working, you can pull it out at the age of 58, 59. That doesn't affect your pension at all. I think you're allowed to own a house up to about $1.5 million, and that doesn't affect your pension. It goes on income from derivatives or...
And it does go on how much you've got in the bank.
A lot of people, I'm sure Danny could appreciate this, living in Dallas, is a lot of people are asset rich. You know, if you added up their assets, there'd be a couple of $1 million. But cash poor. In other words, they don't have much liquid cash. They have their home, they might have boats, whatever. So they have a great deal of assets.
Danny, Buttercup's having electrical issues. She can't plug anything in right now.
Oh, I think she's probably talking about when Buttercup walks along the beach and has a big long pointed stick and pokes dead animals.
When did she say that to you?
Hello, Keepin' at Bacon. I've got a song for you, Keepin'. I'll give you a little prelude. Are you ready? Just make me bacon in the morning, bacon. Just touch my ham before you leave. Yeah. So what happens is the government in one form or another, or insurance companies in one form or another, make sure that even if you've worked hard all your life, they keep you on the edge of poverty. He comes across like a little kid, doesn't he? Hello, Blue. But things like annuities, they're okay. But that means an insurance company or the bank's got your money. And in this climate, I wouldn't suggest to anyone to get into annuities.
Oh, boy, stop saying things just to trigger people, because that's all you're doing. You don't need to protect yourself.
Hello, Kiwi. It's sort of not, Blake, you'd have to suggest that if there was a scale from beta to alpha male, it hasn't risen much. Bully tells little fibs, you know what I mean?
Yeah, all the time.
He doesn't sort of...
This person's attacking me, that person. This person's sending me private messages. This person's doing that, yet he won't say how, where, or when.
Or the classic one, I'm 5'11".
Give me receipts.
That's... Bully, do you want to tell people how tall you are? Because I know how tall you are. You are 5'6". Morning, Sids.
You wake up early again, Sids.
I hope Danny liked it. I thought it sort of summed her up.
Well, Bully, that's not... People go where they want. I don't care.
People are free to travel.
Yeah. People
the internet, wherever they wish to go.
Exactly.
If you choose not to go there, like I do on many channels, that's my prerogative. Yeah, that's probably the answer, Lake. I suppose the best answer you could give Bully is just right, okay, right, okay. See, the thing that follows us around, Bully, as much as many people will use these words, you need to look forward. The past is irrelevant. It's not true. You are defined by what you have done and said. It really is that simple. You know, it's the old saying, Bully, you can spend years hard at work in the shed polishing a turd, using the finest sandpaper in the world and buffing it up as shiny as you can. And when you walk out of that shed and show people that you've changed and you've got a shiny turd, they'll just keep reminding you, Bully, it's still a turd.
Well, what's the temperature here today now? Well, today
now it's only about 28.
We still had a hot day.
It was real sticky today.
But tonight
we had a hot spell, and at the end of it, the moisture's kicked in. Yes, she is. I'm wondering whether Bully wants to be... Well, I'm not going to openly suggest he's a cross-dresser or anything like that, but maybe he wants to sort of build on his effeminate side. Maybe he wants to move away from the darkness and head towards the light, carrying his polished turd in his pocket.
I will just delete the comment if he says it again.
Yes, I hope Danny liked that little song, because I think that song would sum up what she's like. The world is a wonderful place. If you just live in the one state and never get out of it, Bully, you won't know any different. Oh, Danny, did you hear about those poor buggers on that in Japan on that cruise liner? 3,000 people confined to their bedrooms on the bunks of the ship.
Yeah, in their cabins.
And they said 2 weeks at first, but apparently the rumour is a month minimum.
Because more people have been found positive.
We don't pay anything for our cell phone bill per month. We pay it yearly. Pretty cheap, actually. We just renewed ours.
It's prepaid.
$200 each for our
the year.
Unlimited. And we've got good reception on our phones no matter where we go.
No, it's not, Danny, that's right.
We've got an island called Christmas Island, which is about 1,000 miles off the coast, but it's Australian territory. And we have over 300 Australians that have been flown out of China in a facility there, and they have
quarantined.
Have to stay a minimum of 2 weeks, but it'll be longer. As soon as one of them shows positive, from that day, you add another 14 days. So it could be a terribly long time. It's like that cruise ship. That would be a nightmare.
Yeah, it's just not all the passengers, it's the crew, and I mean, it just puts everything out. The next cruise
The people that are more likely to get it are the crew. because they're still working. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but somebody's got to feed the people.
Well, it could be one of those things they'll have to disembark and go to a facility. That would be better anyway.
I don't think they'll do. I don't think they're going to do that. No one's letting the cruise ship dock. That's the problem.
No.
So
There's over 230 Australians on board, and I think there's 800 Canadians. Kiwi nationals. Yep. And in fact, when they came back to New Zealand, there was 30-odd Australians on board that one Kiwi.
are they quarantined somewhere in New Zealand? Are they Kiwi?
See, I know that the problem on board a ship is that the air conditioning system is recycled. It's not a medical filter air conditioner at all.
Yeah, I
So that could be an absolute disaster in the making.
I sort of probably agree with that, Danny, because they're contained on there. But if it runs, I don't know. It's a hard situation, isn't it? If it runs its course, you know, we all can just pray that nobody gets really, really sick, and if it stays combined
Thank you, Sids.
and runs its course, hopefully it'll just help a little bit, I suppose.
It'd be terrible. If you've ever been on a cruise ship, and we used to get a good room, it's still too small. Even with the balcony, you would feel like a caged tiger.
Yeah, that's...
And as sure as eggs, the only food there we'd be getting, it won't be like roasts, and it'll be sandwiches, maybe soups.
No, Bully, her power is not cut off.
No, we have communication with Buttercup.
She's just got a few sockets that have electrical problems. You know how you've got separate sockets to plug stuff in?
But we did have a good day today in the house build because all the floorboards are down in the living area, and the office will be done tomorrow.
Yeah, replenishing the food and...
I imagine, like, it'll be a bit like airline food in metal containers.
No,
What's he talking
not the
about?
whole house. It's not got cut off power. She has electricity. It's limited.
What they've done, Danny, is that the 10 confirmed cases were taken off the ship. So they're trying to keep the ship as a destination where there is no disease. But if there is, the spread could be calamitous.
I mean, I don't know what yous have seen on the news, but what they're showing here on the news, pretty physical, bit scary, isn't it? They're just opening doors and just taking people out of their homes and taking them away. And I'm not lying, Danny, that's what we're seeing here on the news, live footage.
Every country in the next week will enforce a quarantine.
Oh, Bully, excuse me, everybody be quiet, please, just so Bully can listen. Bully, have I got your attention? Do you have your ears in? Do you have headphones in? Are you reading the text? Are you listening to my voice, Bully?
It's not.
Can I please have an answer from you, Bully, that you're listening to me, please? All right, you hear me. So I'm going to talk slow. She has electricity. Say, example, you have 10 sockets in your house. 5 aren't working, which means she's limited of what she can plug in. She has electricity. She has lights. She can flush the toilet. She can use the fridge.
You don't think you're talking too quickly?
Oh, sorry. Okay, now, Bully, please answer me. I understand you,
No,
Mrs. Seeds.
You won't get that.
Yes, I understand you, Mrs. Seeds. Thank you.
At the moment in Australia, we've got the Chinese soccer team, female Chinese soccer team in Queensland. They're being quarantined. And students arriving from China over the last week are also being quarantined, 600 of them. But the Chinese government had an attack on Australia saying, how dare you treat people like that? And in the same news broadcast showing us caring for these people and putting them in quarantine, you saw the videos of Chinese people being wrenched from their houses
They're literally
and forced into the back of vans and taken to quarantine areas.
They are. They're ripped out of their houses and forced. There's no other
But
way
we're
to
bad for trying to
describe it.
save their life.
I mean, they showed pictures of, I don't know who's, I think people are doing their own filming and they're sending it to somewhere so it can be shown on the news.
I think the answer there, Lake, is they have a different level of what they think care is about. As long as you work hard and educate well, you're okay.
The facilities where...
There certainly is no social security in China.
The facilities on Christmas Island, it's comfortable. I mean, I'd quarantine myself. I wouldn't question anything if we were in a situation of having to do that.
I was listening to the radio today. The leading immunologist from the World Health Organization and also from Switzerland, there was about a group of 6 of them, said categorically the month of February, in other words, the remaining 20-odd days, will define this virus. In other words, it will go beyond control and go through what they call a natural course, which means 1 billion people could get it, and say 20 million people die. That's a natural course for the virus. In other words, it will run its race. Some people are immune to it. They already know that. But if they can contain it and treat people well, February will be the month we know they can do that as well. So the words pandemic will only occur when it's lost control. In other words, when it's taking its natural course. No, well, China's never been upfront with sort of statistics.
Yeah, wear a mask, wear gloves, whatever you want to do. I mean, it's been for ages in our shopping centre when you get a trolley. What do you call that? The
sanitary wipes, yeah. Blue Topaz, Christmas Island is a territory of Australia that is 1,500 kilometres off my state in the ocean, middle of nowhere. It's been used for boat detainees, in other words, illegal immigrants. It's been used for quarantine before, and it's being used for quarantine now.
Yeah, well, that's right, Sids. A lot of people aren't going out much. They've stocked up, and they're just keeping their outings to a
Well, if someone
minimum.
said to me, for the month of February, should I just buy a heap of food? And you get food delivered in Australia, anywhere. Just buy enough food to keep me going for at least a month, and I don't want to go out and mix with the public, I'd be saying, well, that's a smart thing to do if you can do that. But what you can't do is if you're working, you can't avoid it. I mean, our dear friend Danny is literally in the front line, even though I'm sure there's nothing that's happened, but it could. Getting back to that cruise ship, I can tell you from my experience as a prison officer.
All right, see you, Danny.
See you, Danny. Have a good day at work. As a prison officer, when, say, flu or cold would be caught by a couple of people, the 500 inmates would have it within 2 weeks. Close proximity and unsanitary conditions, bang. The boat's different, of course, but it's still a very confined area.
And I know it's their jobs, doctors, nurses, whatever, but you've just like fireys. You've got to give them credit. The ones who volunteered to go to Christmas Island and stay with these people the whole time. You know, you've just got to give them credit, and there's just so many good people out there.
That's the one thing we never want to go pandemic, is Ebola. That is scary. I believe in some parts of West Africa, the death rate is 50%. Exactly the same as the Black Plague, literally.
Lake's not talking to you, boy, so...
But with the increasing population and the possibility of flying around the globe within 24 hours, and we're talking millions of people a day flying, a pandemic was inevitable. I know this sounds a bit strange. We're fortunate that the death rate with this is between 2 and 3%. I know that sounds crazy. It's not good for the people that die, but as far as pandemics go, it's not bad. If you were given a choice, Ebola, something else, or this, You'd probably pick this. They traced, like, there was a group that landed in Australia. There were 4 of them, Chinese, and they're on a plane. Now, what they were able to do is trace everybody's movements off that plane for the last 14 days. Now, a further 2 from the plane have it, and the rest are going through tests, but it's incredible. And do you know how they track most of them? With their phones. They actually went through different communication systems and security systems, and they found out exactly where everybody had been. So if one of those were contracted the virus, they could then look in that area where they'd been and see if anyone else was susceptible. But how they tracked them all mainly was with their phones. Because if someone in the security in your country or my country wanted to know where I'd been for the last 12 months, they could pull it up on a screen and you see little squiggle marks everywhere where I'd been, and that's what it would be. Well, the last report I heard on the radio, and the radio gives a lot more information than television. A lot of television is sensation and rubbish. When you get genuine reporters reporting about what's happening, the Chinese aren't telling us everything. They're saying 56 million people in 13 big cities are being confined. You can betcha that's not the right figure. I think all of China is under lockdown right now.
And I bet you they knew before it even came out on the news. That's just my opinion. I mean, I could be wrong, but I reckon weeks before it became public knowledge that they knew.
I've never been to fast food places in my life. A few places I have, but mainly for the grandkids. You don't watch my cooking, do you, Bully? I cook most things at home.
What is he going on about? Burger World, cell phone records say it. What?
I wouldn't use fast food Wi-Fi when I've got 4 or 5G on my phone. Why would I bother?
Yeah, that's right, Seeds. Seeds cooks.
What I want you to do, Bully, is not leave your state and stay within a radius of about 1 kilometre or a mile of your house. Oh, that's what you do already anyway. No, you'll be right. You should be good. Sid is a very good cook as well.
Yeah.
I think we're going to, like I say, these immunologists that all got together, and they're all clever people, know what they're talking about. The month of February will define this virus, whether it becomes a pandemic, runs its course, it takes, unfortunately, a lot of lives, or they can actually isolate people and control it. I've got a feeling, and this is not me being a doomsdayer, in China they have not been able to contain it at all. I don't think the rest of the world will be successful in doing so, even though the standards in places like the US, New Zealand, Australia are very high. If it's a contagion that passes and pushes through those barriers of quarantine, it will run its course. The one fear that I have, because we have grandchildren, is that if it starts affecting schools, I will insist, and I will stomp my foot. Many protests will be heard, but I'll say, look, I'll have all your grandkids, bring them here.
Oh, the kids wouldn't
I'll
send
pay
them.
for a teacher.
The kids wouldn't send them to school.
No.
They would be the first
I have no problem.
to pull the kids out. We've got no worries there.
See, it's language like that, Bully, provocative language that's unnecessary. And it puts yourself you put the spotlight on yourself.
Say something like that again.
It's unnecessary.
And I'm going to boot you.
Oh, you've been warned. Don't need to worry about Buttercup. There's the angels on your case.
Now you can apologise to Kiwi, thanks. Even silly little comments like that, Bully, every action causes a chain reaction, so don't.
For such a little fella, you make a lot of noise. You ring a loud bell. Well, some of the things that people say to you, unfortunately, are truth.
But read what Kiwi said. That wasn't like anything what you said. Anyway, I'm not arguing with you. We're
No.
pretty patient.
We're going to have to put them in the corner shortly, I think.
Put up with a lot.
I'll delete that song I did of Bully, I think. Actually, if you do misbehave any further, Bully, I will delete that video. It's of no consequence to me at all. It'll just disappear into the night. Yes, but I hope this virus doesn't become a pandemic. Because we have so many people on the planet, that's a lot of people we're going to lose. And they know this particular virus is very contagious, but it's also a virus that can be carried by somebody who doesn't get affected by it. So they're a carrier. Well, the stats I've looked at, Lake, there have been some children and even a newborn diagnosed with the coronavirus, but it's predominantly elderly people who die through complications of an existing health issue and getting the coronavirus. The average age, I believe, is somewhere around 50, including the few children that have contracted it. But we're talking about those who have died. It's because they've weakened systems anyway, because of an existing health issue. And then they get this coronavirus on top. It just finishes them off.
Well, go do it then, Bully. I want you to unplug all your internet things, wash everything down with antiseptic, unplug your phone, and go hide for 30 days.
Just from my information that I've garnished from professionals, not my information, they're saying this month will define the virus. So if Lake says to me, I've decided to stay home for a few weeks and just buy a whole heap of groceries and watch old movies, that's fine. There's no problem in taking precautions. You're not panicking, you're just being smart.
Well, yeah, I understand what you're saying, Kiwi. You look out throughout history, Mother Nature.
Yeah, done it all the time.
Yeah, Mother Nature.
Well, a lot of people would know about World War One. The same period in 1916 when the Spanish flu hit. Now, a lot of people died in battle in World War One, but nowhere near the amount of people that died in 1916 to 1918 with the Spanish flu. It had several bouts of it, and it killed millions.
You just look throughout history, all the plagues.
Yep. We have a history on our planet of some towns and villages being completely decimated with viruses.
And it's just, yeah, Mother Nature's way of keeping a handle on the world, I suppose, because it happens in the animal kingdom as well.
But you know why they do that, Blue, to pass? I give you the psychology behind why people speak in the third person is because they don't like the first one.
Oh, yeah, I just got what you said, yeah.
Yeah, like I'm with you. I mean, I'm just over 60 and I have been aware, and we haven't not stopped going places, but we're limited where we've been going. No one has to listen to me, Bully. I don't enforce my will on anyone. I just have an opinion. I try and keep my opinions based on fact, although I'm from time to time allowed to formulate an opinion of a subject matter. Like when someone's only 5'6" and they say they're 5'11". Yeah, a lot of people do that, like. I don't take the flu virus, not because I'm an anti-vaccine person. I try and eat a ton of onions, garlic, ginger, and I try and eat reasonably healthy. I do smoke, that's not healthy. But for me, and I know doctors that have said to me, well, you can have the flu injection. What they do when they make a vaccine each year for the flu injection is pick the highest percentage virus or bacterial flu, and they will try and target that only. You can't have a multiple vaccine to cover multiple viruses. So they try and go for the one that's the most predominant. Doesn't mean that's the one you'll get. That's the problem. Yep, I don't stop people or never suggest they shouldn't get SIDS, but it only covers the one. It's the one that has the highest percentage of infection. That's the one they'll create a vaccine for, which, if you were in that field, you'd probably think it was a good idea. No, I've never had a flu shot.
Oh, I had to when I was working in the nursing home. I had no choice.
That was the condition of work, wasn't it?
It was a condition of work. If I didn't get the flu shot, I had no job.
I'm not against it, bully.
Kiwi.
But our life is like a piece of string. You could be healthy until you're 90 and you're fit, and people would say, man, you look about 50. And the guy said, yeah. And then he crosses the road and gets hit by a cigarette truck. That's cruel.
Yeah, my mum was the same. Like, my mum had it every year too. It helps some. It's like some things help some people and other things don't. Not everybody can actually have the flu shot.
No. I've had 2 bouts of pneumonia in my life, and one was pretty serious, but they were both bacterial, the most common form of pneumonia. I mean, I've been hit by a car. I nearly died 4 or 5 times. We get lucky. That's the only way you can describe it. It's not by chance that you survive, it's just good fortune. I'm not sure why you'd be shooting people, bully. That's not real good. But you've been deleted. Oh, Mystic Angel, you're crossing the line, she's saying.
I deleted that message.
Yeah, and I think you'll probably be deleting him shortly.
Yep. 3 strikes and you're out.
I've never felt the need to pick up a weapon against anyone.
Yeah, my mum used to get that one too, SIDS.
Yeah, having asthma is not good as well.
Yeah.
No, I've had, if you could get up close and look at my hands, bully, you'd see teeth marks all over them. I've had plenty of fights, but I've never crossed my mind to pick a weapon up to hurt someone. Mind you, at about 225 pounds at 6'5", perhaps you could call that a weapon. Yeah, but it's an inadequacy, Blue to Pass. If someone has to suggest they use a third-party object to put their point across to threaten somebody, it's not really a sort of a man thing, you know what I mean? Yep, I remember I grew up with kids with polio. Like, remember when we all got the mumps, the measles, the chicken pox? Some got diphtheria, whooping cough. They were all normal when I was a kid, and I'm sure it's exactly the same for Lake. And I know this immunologist that I listen to on the radio from time to time, he suggests that you might have heard of the studies where they take bacteria out of the gut of people your age, Lake. They take bacteria from your intestine and they put it into young people who are suffering terribly, and strange enough, they start to recover.
Well,
because the bacteria that we had and the viruses we went through built our immune system up. And believe it or not, it's the gut and the process of digestion that does most of the removal of the bad stuff. That's what kidneys, livers are for. But that's happened a lot recently, where immunologists have asked older people to come in and they just take a sample from your stomach and then they give it to 5 or 6 kids and it helps them. Things like nut allergies. Can you remember any kid when you were a kid suffering a nut allergy or having strange rashes appear on them?
It's like we hardly ever see cases of chickenpox or measles.
Yeah, shingles are not pleasant.
But right now we've got a measles.
Well, that's happened all over the world, actually. There's been measles
Outbreaks, which we haven't had in years.
But when I was a kid, I knew people who had smallpox. Not that you rubbed up against them. But yeah, all those things were real when I was a kid. But the immune system of people today who have not been through that process get some of the benefits from their mothers as they're born. Some people would know when a child passes through the channel, we'll call it for a better word, the bacteria that's added to the child assists it in its immune system. That's why cesareans doesn't happen when you have a cesarean. Chocolate is always a good defense mechanism.
I'll be in that blue.
If you're going to get silver and gold and lots of food,
And
don't forget the chocolate.
Yes, yeah.
You remember when you were at school, they used to give you a shot when you were about 13 or 14.
You can still get it.
I went fishing that day.
You can still get it, but you're just not as bad.
Yeah, I think everywhere in the world had these mini outbreaks of measles. And whooping cough made a big comeback in Australia the last few years.
Yeah, about 5 years ago we had a bit of a problem with whooping cough. No, it would have been longer.
I know I couldn't see one of my granddaughters because my daughter said, "Oh, look, unless you're willing to get the vaccine, you can't see her till she's 3 months." I said, "All right, I'll just wait 3 months." No, it's a very low refusal rate in Australia for vaccines. Are you going to hand yourself in, Bully?
I was just ignoring it. He said it twice until someone comment. Don't even go any further with that comment, Bully.
But we'll get through this. Like I say, it's not good. It's uncertainty, but just be smart. If you like lake and you're going to pick up your groceries and have a couple of weeks' food in reserve, it's not a bad thing to do. Well, I'll give you an idea. Like in Australian public schools, if you refuse to take the vaccines, you can't go to the school. It's very simple. Even though I never contracted hepatitis whilst in the prison, every year I'd have at least 3 needles or 4 needles. It was just an ongoing process. So prevention. The biggest killer of people. A lot of people think of HIV in the 80s as a bad thing. Well, I can tell you hepatitis C is worse.
Oh, I highlighted my own name. Oh, well, it shows that on my phone anyway. I made my name highlight.
I'm pretty sure. No, they didn't stick me with a needle. I actually got shafted with a blade a couple of times, Bully, but no needles.
There's a few in Australia that refuse the vaccine, but it's basically like here, if your children aren't vaccinated, they cannot go to school. So it's a harsh law, but, people can have their opinion and you've got to respect what they want to do, but vaccines have helped over the centuries or whenever they first came out. It's helped the population.
Well, a lot of us live a lot longer because of it, there's no question. Well, I think the policy for public interaction for children in particular is that they should be vaccinated because it means that they're all protected against each other. Look, most of you have had kids and grandkids come home and they'll have a bit of a sniffle, and guess what? Your whole household ends up having the cold or the flu because they caught it in amongst 400 or 500 other school children at school. It's a petri dish. That's what teacher once told me. You know, going to work every day is like working in a petri dish. I think I've got plenty of room here, Bully. We've got 5 bedrooms, three bathrooms.
So,
We're good.
and we only fly business class. And we want our own ensuite. And the sheet turned down, chocolate on the pillow.
I lost one of my mother's twin died from TB. Lake would know how devastating that was in the 50s and 60s. Terrible tuberculosis. They'd send them off to sanitariums and they either lived or they didn't. Pretty sure my auntie was 22 when she passed with TB.
When I was working in the nursing homes.
Yeah, the iron lungs, yeah, because it just got so bad. They still use them today, Lake, and they're using them with the coronavirus with some elderly people, and not with a great deal of success rate. Yeah, they have a modern version. Remember the old iron lung, how big it was? It's like a decompression chamber. I remember seeing one in a hospital when I was a kid. I said, what's that, a submarine? They said, no, it's a chamber for tuberculosis, the iron lung. But the new ones are just in big boxes and they can be wheeled into the room. Literally, you can be breathed by a machine. They do it in operations now. Virtually the same process of having an iron lung when you have a heart transplant is your body's blood is circulated outside your body and your breathing's taken over by the machine. I don't know what the success rate, but everyone I ever heard that ended up in an iron lung didn't come out of it, if you know what I mean. Like, it was a pretty sort of end of life sort of hope that it might save you. But you get young mothers now that want everything in the house disinfected. Kids can't play in the mud. Everything's sterile. Our bodies have always needed to face bacteria to create immune systems. Yeah, you get a bit of snivel, a bit of a cough, but it's your body converting the bacteria into an anti-immune system against it, so you don't get it again. And when I was a kid, Lake, my mum used to take us to chicken pox parties, which was very common.
And measles parties.
I always wonder why there's lots of cakes and biscuits
and
and drinks
parties.
and why are we here? And why has this guy across from me got bumps all over?
Oh,
yep, chicken pox parties, because that means the whole village would get sick at the same time, because chicken pox is very infectious.
And that was
they worked on the theory that if all the kids got sick at once, that would be the end of it.
And that was even after having your vaccination. Like I say, it doesn't stop you getting it, but it helps you not get it as bad.
There was no vaccination for chickenpox when I was a kid. It ran its course. Some people got terrible. I used to get little bumps on me, red welts, but not like some kids. They were terrible.
In their ears, up their nose.
They had the nose and their mouth.
In their mouth.
No, I had mumps when I was a kid.
Actually, funny story. My dad got the mumps before I was born, and who later became my godmother said to my dad, well, that's it, because she was a midwife. You're sterile now, you've got the mumps. It means you won't be able to have any more kids. And then I came along.
No, my bumps were all purple with green spots, and they were quite pretty, actually.
I know, Kiwi and Blue, you told me
do you remember that
when was horsehair.
Like when you were a kid and you had all that calamine lotion rubbed all over you, and the first words they would say, don't scratch it. It's for good reason they tell you not to scratch it, because you open up a pore and you become an infectious petri dish for everyone else around you.
Oh, how hard is it not to scratch chicken pox?
You used to sit there and you'd rub your back through your clothing. Methylate, yep.
I have had chicken pox 3 times in my life.
Your sister's had it twice, hasn't she?
I had it when I was a kid, like still in primary school, And then the next time, when did we go on that boat thing with, you know, remember?
2004.
And I got
5.
it then, and that's when Ingrid, my sister, got it.
Yeah.
And then about 3-4 years ago, I got it again. Each time was only a mild case, but yeah, I've had it 3 times.
Here's one for Lake. Do you remember this one, Lake? I want you to hold the side of the chair and press it firmly down with your feet, because this one will make you do that. Cod liver oil. Lake, do you remember those days? Bloody great dessert spoonful of cod liver oil.
Well, boy, you have no fear of what you say if it's not something crude, rude, stupid, insulting.
Oh, it's just awful stuff. I remember when they said, oh, because you'd be tricked into it, you know. Here's a bit of bread with jam on it. Oh, yum. No, you just got to have this first. What? What about the bread and jam? Oh, you can have that after you have this. What is it? It's good for you. That's what I was told. It's good for you.
I don't know if it's only in Australia, but you remember Rawley's?
Yeah.
I think United States have a similar brand, but it's another name. Well, they used to have a medicine that was called for man and beast. So it was a cure-all medicine that for coughs, colds, whatever, that you gave to the family, and your animals got it as well.
Yeah,
It was
and
horrible.
there's old sayings that Lake would particularly know that I was brought up on, and that is you feed a cold and you starve a fever. And it's the best advice you'll ever get, because all you need to do when you have a fever is to get liquids into you. I remember in the early 60s there was a massive outbreak of chickenpox. And some people get affected by chickenpox differently. Sometimes they get the fever. Most people get chickenpox, just get itchy and depressed because you've got calamine lotion all over you.
You just feel unwell.
Hello, VMAC. VMAC's far too young to remember these things. She's a slip of a girl.
That's right.
Did you see my dinner tonight, VMAC? You'd have enjoyed it. Honeydew melon, watermelon, and fresh seedless white grapes. Hello, Shamo. Hope you're having a good day. Do you remember cod liver oil, VMAC? Do you remember those days? They were dark days. I was just saying to the people before you got here, my mother would say, I've got some bread and jam for you. And it was like, well, that's a treat. You'd sit at the table and you'd see the bit of bread and jam and think, whoa, that looks good. And she would say,
Yeah.
now, you can have that, but you've got to have this first.
I used to have to
It was a
take
tablespoonful of cod
that
liver oil.
yeah.
My first question was, what is it? And her answer was always, it's good for you.
I never questioned my mum. You took it. That was it. When you saw that spoon coming, you just took it.
Always reminds me of sump oil. But there's a lot of goodness in cod liver oil. It's just tastes awful. And then you'd eat the bread and jam after and think, was it really worth this piece of bread and jam?
Yes. Back in the day, jam was a luxury.
We have a queen bed at the moment, but we've been hanging off to get a king bed because we like a king bed.
No, Blue and Kiwi told me that they had. Didn't you tell me you had a bed that was still made with horsehair?
Shamo wants me to email him. There's an email address and I'll get you to save that. Can you just screen capture or something?
Oh, probably.
That way we can have a look at it later and send him an email. You should never live in fear of being hammered. You should just watch what you say, bully. There are ways of saying things without being provocative, as in a question, instead of a statement from a third party.
If you have to think about it and you reckon you're in fear, then obviously it's not going to be an appropriate comment. So don't say it.
Well, that means he's answered his own question then.
Yeah, see, look, VMAX here now. I've already deleted your comments. I told you, third time out.
Of course, if you get 3 strikes, you're out for a month. That's how it works. We're just very democratic here.
Oh, you got another storm coming, VMAC, like snow and all that. Yeah, see, Blue remembers it was their mattress is made out of horsehair. It's on the floor. Yeah,
Never.
isn't it? Yeah, that's what they've got, boy.
And the ceilings in old houses was made out of horsehair, plaster.
Exactly, Kiwi.
But in Queensland, they're getting downpours of rain, and in Sydney, they're getting 80 mils. You know the song, The Best Day of Our Life?
I warned you,
Not sure.
bully. I warned you. VMAC got him.
Oh, no. Look, we had 110 the other day. It's been about 105 for about a week. And as soon as the heat goes, we get a bit of this humidity kicking, and that's a pain in the bum. How tall are you? You look tall. Too tall to be comfortable in a queen bed. I'm 6'5", and on occasions my feet do hang over the bed. But we've had really big king beds in the past. We went to California, didn't we, at one stage?
Yeah.
That's probably too big, but the king size bed's nice, which we'll get one shortly. It's a shame all of you don't live closer, because we're painting on the weekend, and you'd all be welcome. Give you a brush each. Today is the best day of my life.
I'm 5'2", Sids. Actually, when I sit on the bed, come to think of it, my feet don't reach the ground. Seeds do.
What's that? Oh, the queen bed?
Yeah.
Well, you have the same problem with the king bed. I have to get you a little doggy stool.
Yeah. Yep, that's right. He was warned. He was warned, Blue.
Jeez, I'm surrounded by dwarfs. What's going on?
Yeah, that's right. He's constantly told. I was pretty fair. I only deleted his comments twice. I told him third time he was out.
I might have to give Lake a blue wrench shortly so she can do behavioural issues.
See, he's probably still listening. If you ignore
He's
half
just
his...
misunderstood, but he obviously
No, he-
hasn't learnt the differences between a gentle social interaction and just attacking people.
Crap. So, did I miss your answer, VMAC, about your storm coming? Scrolling back, but I can't
Oh, I wish
see
we had a
it.
storm.
Where is it?
Oh my goodness, it's been so dry for too long.
Yeah, just a little bit of rain would help.
Oh yeah, it's provocative, that's what he does, Lake. It's like the kid with
Yeah,
the
I know.
stick poking a cat until it screams out in pain, and then someone says, stop doing that.
I'm always saying he just does it to get a reaction. I ignore his comments. I just delete them.
I'd take your own, trust
Oh,
me.
yeah, we'll have some rain. A blizzard today changing to freezing rain. Oh,
Freezing
that's
rain I don't like.
not nice.
That is unpleasant.
These two windows here have to be closed.
Yep, I do that.
Did
by the
you
way.
do the other ones?
Yeah, I've done all the others. Yeah, you could name a whole raft of them, couldn't you, Chamo? I could come out with a few quite simply, like juice, skiwi. You could make a list of unpleasant characters
They're not
that wish to
important.
share their misery with others, upon others.
They're not important. It doesn't matter. Yeah, freezing rain and that wind that gets to your bones. That's unpleasant. Isn't that cold wind? I can
it's
handle
just
the cold.
stinging rain. It's not nice.
It's that wind I can't handle. Yeah, sometimes boy does go a bit crazy.
You've got to, like I say, when you understand people to the extent that you know that behaviour will never change, but he knows we don't tolerate him crossing the line. That's not a behavioural enhancement, that's just a behaviour barrier that we reach and go, nope, no more. Well, I could profile him pretty simply. I did one day and he didn't like it. I said, you're about 5'6". He did a video walking through a gaming area of his home or flat or whatever it was. And you could tell the shadow, the height, the things that surrounded him, the way he walked. I said, you're about 190 pounds and you're about 5'6". He got furious with me and said, I'm 5'11". But then he did a video where he caught up with the man in the van and stood next to him and was 2 inches shorter. So he's 5'6". And a chunky little monkey to go with it.
We've got separate duvets or whatever you want to call them, Blue.
Yeah, because I wouldn't have any on me.
Well,
if we had one big doona, it'll all be over her
yeah,
side on the floor.
That's the problem. And actually, I grew up, well, I mean, till I got married, seeing Mum and Dad having their own dinner because we had the feather quilts. Being from Germany, that's how they do it over there. So you get your own quilt. Because sharing blankets and that, it's not easy.
No, I've never liked a top sheet. Sleep in the nutty, have a doona you can flick on and flick off.
I said, I've got to have something covering part of me. I've got to have, in the middle of summer, can be sweating, just a thin sheet, just something on me.
So you're getting a bit of an Arctic push. Not nice. At least from the ocean, it'd be quick and breezy.
On the Leroy. Yeah, it's, you know, you understand what I'm saying. Like, I've got to have something. Like, if sometimes we just have the fan on, it's not hot enough for the aircon, but just a fan.
Yeah, just a fan, a bit of air flowing.
But even then, most of the fan blows on seeds because I don't like it directly on me, and I'll just have the quilt cover. I'll take the quilt out of the cover, and I'll just have that on me.
Even during winter, I'll just flick the doona off. I don't mind the cool air.
So that's not going to be very pleasant for you, VMAC.
Well, like I say, I wish we could see some sort of cloud, let alone rain.
Yeah. We just need enough rain to wet, not to give us floods like some states have already.
Exactly, Chama. You're responsible for your own actions. And if you face the world with a smile, most of the time you get one back. If you go through life with a long face, you'll end up meeting a horse in a bar.
With noise, we're a bit the same. We listen to a like a podcast when we go to bed, just something in the background. Yeah, that's right. It's like us with the heat, VMAC. Mind you, with the humidity we had last couple of days, the amount we were sweating, I thought I would have at least lost 5 kilos, but no, I seem to have put 2 kilos on.
I had to sand and varnish some door frames, and my God, it was sticky and hot. In reality, probably about a month. Like, we could earlier, but we're not going to. There's things that we want to finish. Even when our builder, who we've hired to do most of it, goes, we've got lots of work we'll do ourselves. But livable within a month, for sure.
Yeah, I don't want to move a heap of furniture in then have to move the furniture because we forgot to do something there or... Like, we've still got a room we can sleep in, a room to watch TV.
Oh, well, of anything, our master bedroom will be the first one that we can move into.
I have to pick carpet yet because I'm having carpet in the bedroom.
We're not in a rush. We are quite patient, to be honest.
Now, the only thing I sometimes gets to me is the dust.
Yes, both the en-suites turned out really lovely. One of the guys come out and he was
Of course,
the electrician. He said it's like going into a hotel.
Yep, SIDS. I just haven't got the pool yet. No, there's poolside view.
No,
Well,
your
if
room's
you,
available.
if you do the poolside view, SIDS, you'll be sleeping up on the patio.
I've got probably 100 meditation videos on my channel, and a lot of them are due to like rain on a tin roof, thunder in the distance, nice gentle rain, for all that, and they work. They really do work.
Oh, we love listening to thunderstorms, but the last couple of years it's been this podcast we listen to.
You're very much like my wife, Shama. She'll hug people. I tend to shake your hand at first when I get to know you and I can see you are of good value. I will hug you.
VMAC will be...
VMAC, I'll be wearing a protective... Do you remember Dustin Hoffman in the movie Contagion, VMAC?
Oh.
That's how I met you, first time. I'll just stick a little hand out.
No, I'll be chasing VMAC around the house.
Good luck with that.
I'll say, come
she'll
here.
pull out a cattle prod and don't get that close to me, Mr.
No, because I'll have chocolate stuck all over me.
You must find people how you meet them. And as much as people may try, how you text or write is how you speak.
Well, sometimes
And
that can
words
be hard,
you
though.
write down are exactly the same things you would say. You probably say more, but you put in essence who you are in writing. I agree, VMAC. I mean, I'm blonde and I'm 6'5" and ex-sportsman. So when I walk up to you, just a handshake is all you need to give me, VMAC. She'll be saying, "Come here, lover. Back off. Get, go, get.
I don't think so.
Sit.
VMAC's... She'll be doing that with me.
Well, we won't see eye to eye, that's for sure, me and VMAC, because unless she's brought a stool, it's not going to happen. I tell you what I do when I meet people, and I do it deliberately. It's something people that are shorter than me never do, because they don't have to. I will lower my body, I will bend over, and I will be only,
6'4".
No, 5'8" or something, because I deliberately do it not to intimidate
it doesn't
people.
work.
If I stand tall and someone's 5'2", it's intimidating.
It is.
I'm aware of that.
It is, but you can't lower yourself that
I do.
small.
I just bend down and.
It doesn't work.
Most women come up to my belly button, and if they give me a hug, it can become embarrassing because they haven't got much other to grip than my ass.
Oh, you remember when you went on your knees to giving my sister a hug, because my sister's shorter than me.
Yeah, you're right, Shanna. We get to understand each other through even just text.
Yeah, I know, VMAC.
No, I would never do that. Some women are very promiscuous in that they've just met you and they want you to kiss them on both cheeks. And I'm thinking, I don't normally do that. And they sort of, I don't know, if they take offence, well, that's just a little bit too bad. I won't answer that, VMAC, but...
Shall I tell them what your nickname used to be?
Maybe not.
No?
You might get VMAC a little bit oversided. Thomas Hall. I think I've heard of him, actually. I used to get many when I first started doing meditation, because I used my own material. And I get all these people claim that it was theirs. And I'd be like, it's not.
Yes,
and you always get these algorithms, so this company says it's theirs, and I write back saying, I tell you what I'm going to sue this company and you, YouTube, because it's my damn material. Within minutes, I get an email saying, no, your video has been approved. Not them saying, oh, well, we were wrong and this company is trying to grab your material. Because I do get a little check every month, and it's only due to the meditation videos. Got nothing to do with me chatting to you tonight or making funny songs or things like that. It's meditation. So if you want to earn a little bit of money on YouTube,
Do
start
meditation.
making meditation video. It could be just scenery and birds and...
I'm sure there's something dead somewhere. Depending which way the breeze blows, I'm smelling something dead.
Well, let's figure. We've had 4 months of over 100 degrees. There's probably plenty of dead animals everywhere.
No, there's just every now and then it's just something smells.
Yeah, but you are. When you type and you do exclamations and laugh at certain things, or you have questions about certain things, it unfolds your character. We can't but not do it. Our nature is to type the way we talk.
Sometimes a written text can still be wrong.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't bury him anywhere near here. I know plenty of places. I use the VMAC satellite burying system.
It's like Seed said, it's probably it's a dead animal smell. It's a distinct. I'm sure everybody has smelt a dead animal.
Sadly, a lot of young birds during summer, they suffer because...
Oh, I just had a thought.
Chickens?
He had baby chicks.
Yeah, it could be them, yeah.
About 3 weeks ago.
But lots of animals have died in this country, as you know. But I can tell you, VMAC and others, that the effort in replenishing food and water to many animals has been happening in a huge way. I do fart, Shamo, but I did not at this period.
No, definitely. Every now and then the breeze changes, and it's coming from the back there somewhere. So it could be what I said. Maybe a poor chickie is gone.
But it's a very pleasant night tonight. It's not hot, it's not cold, a little bit humid as the night goes on, but not too bad.
We'll wake up in the morning and think of... Now, hang on a sec, I've got to get this timing right. So tomorrow VMAC's getting this storm. So it is morning there right now, yes?
Most times you get storms in the afternoon around the world.
It's Thursday morning there, VMAC, yeah? Because it's Thursday night here.
Well, it's not going to be Tuesday morning, though.
No, so she's getting the storm Friday... No, hang on. I'm confused. I'm confusing myself now. Yes, I've got a brilliant picture of that, but I don't know how to send it to you, VMAC. It is a tearjerker. It is about 10 of them lined up on chairs in a row, and they're not just koalas, a lot of kangaroos and stuff as well, and they're all bottle feeding them.
I have a channel called Fat Chamo. Well, I've got to tell you, Chamo, that is a temporary period in your life. Unless you're dedicated towards the effort of becoming full-time Fat Chamo, that will occur. But being a little bit bigger than you normally are is usually a temporary process. Like I eat a lot more during winter than I do summer. Just my nature. When it's cold, I get the stews going and the casseroles. And
so
yum.
Tomorrow
summer, just pick.
It's Thursday night here now. Tomorrow's Friday for us. So when I wake up in the morning and I'm sweating, I'll just think of VMAX weather.
Yeah, that might help. But we're heading for a few cooler days. There'll only be about 90 for the rest of this week, which is good.
There's also, just thinking of it, while VMAX said that about the firefighters, they've put a plea out for, and people from overseas have sent them, to knit special little jumper thingies for the koalas and the kangaroos and the possums and even the bats. They've got patterns all over the internet that people can knit and send it to different animal sanctuaries here. Do I have a Gmail that you use? Yes.
Oh, that's what I wanted to tell Shamo. You left a comment which I saw, but it didn't show on the video. I think I did leave you a message to that effect. I don't know why. Mystic thought it might have been the amount of emojis, because YouTube doing their own censoring lately. No PayPal, no Patreon.
This email I'm putting in here is exactly for that reason. To put in, and then when people email me, I give you my proper email, VMAC, if you understand what I'm saying. Yeah, this one I just put, and then as I think even Sid's, I've told a few people that email me to this email I've just put in. When I get an email from you, I then email you and say, please use this email. I don't know how to explain it. I have two emails. This one I just put in is for whatever. People first email me with this one, and then when I answer you, I give you my other email that's...
Yeah, the one that junk can't be thrown at.
Exactly.
You got that all covered then, Kiwi. No PayPal, no Patreon, or any content.
I know this email doesn't matter, VMAC. Can't this one is a throwaway email. My real one I give you when you...
Reach a trust level.
Yeah, my real one I'll give you when you've emailed the one I've put in here.
Kiwi knows this old song. John Paul Young. Blue Topaz Kiwi. Here we go. Love is in the air. Dum, 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 dum. Every time I turn around. Dum, 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 dum. Love is in the air. When Kiwi's around.
And I gotta sing the rest of it now.
We're buffering, but now it seems good. Or no? Yeah, it's moving again. Is it back on?
It looks like it.
Can you hear me? We went all spinny and buffering type thing.
Oh, of course, VMAC, I understand.
All right, there,
I
mate. Go to your RAM.
I'm still buffering.
We'll be in Canada around September. We'll let you know where we are. You don't have to come and see us if you don't want to.
We'll meet up in town and have a coffee.
But if you do, we'll have a beer or coffee or
We can
carrot.
have both.
Carrot and a potato if it's anything to do with VMAC. Our intention is not to make people come
Can
and
I
see
please
us.
have a 69 if we're back on? Can I
Don't
please?
do
Just
Really.
kidding.
Yeah, so that's never been our intention.
What has
We
it?
want to look at Canada for its beauty, its history, its architecture. If we happen to catch up with people, it just happens.
A Kiwi YouTube romance story.
say
Oh, we're going to have a
Well,
YouTube wedding.
we are gathered here today.
We'll do it. Can we do it on your channel?
What?
We'll have a YouTube wedding.
No. We'll let the natural beauty of love unfold in its own good time. That's how it should be.
Well, it'll be cheap. We can just send cyber gifts.
Yeah. Well, there is one advantage for these two good people. They're in the same country. The long white cloud. Actually, we go to Queensland, New Zealand, we've got heaps of people to catch up with. We know lots of Kiwis.
Yep. Can have a gathering. I don't know when we'll do that. Not during winter, that's for sure.
Probably the end of winter's nice in New Zealand. Still crisp without being cold. They've gone very quiet.
I know, I was just thinking, are we still here?
I think we're still here. I'm not sure about blue-tail pears and kiwi. They might have gone down Lover's Lane.
Oh no, there you go.
Yeah, that's not far away. Mind you,
8 hours
sounds like you're
heaps.
from one top down to the bottom. One of you's in the south and one of you's in the north.
8 hours
Mind you, got a good train system, Kiwi.
That'd be 10 hours then on the train. 8 hours is heaps.
Beautiful country, New Zealand. Really is.
Just coming in for the landing's a bit scary.
Both in the North Island, well, you can't be 8 hours from each other. That's not possible. Unless you're talking about walking. I think I know who you're talking about. I did tell you once, VMAC, that most of the aggressive women on YouTube are men. We are allowed to have differences of opinion. It generally doesn't break a friendship. It will just highlight some of the differences we have.
8 hours drive in the North Island. Where did we go?
Jeez. You must be right on the edge of each of it. I must admit, the South Island appeals to me more than the North.
Sorry, where did we go again?
We went to Queenstown and a few other areas.
Yeah, but what part's that? North, south?
South. Mr. Bacon, send me some rind. Don't be a tight bastard and don't be unkind. Send me bacon now, Mr. Bacon.
All right, see you, Sids. Take it easy.
Oh,
Sounds good. Go back to bed.
I'd love to have the rain falling and go back to bed right now. That would be cool. Seriously. But all we hear is the dry wind off the desert, the animals screeching in thirst. But no, you enjoy your rain and get back into bed. Don't worry about us. There's one thing that's true in life, that all good things will come to you if you wait. That is a very true statement and metaphor. If you're patient and you put the effort in, no matter what it is, good things will come to you. Not straight away, but in time. And if something's worth waiting for, it's okay.
That was very poetic, what you just said.
Oh, extracurricular activity.
Oh, BMAC.
I'm not sure if
Does
that's...
it involve chocolate?
She didn't use spell check there, but that's okay. She does throw these big words out there, though, and I struggle with big words as well, let's be honest.
I think you've met your match in an intellectual conversation with VMAC.
I can just see me her in a tent late at night by a lake, her chewing on carrots, rattling my ears off till 3 in the morning.
No, it'd be you.
I'll be going, VMAC, let me go to sleep, please.
After you give her a bear rug.
No, she's not having my bear rug.
Jeez,
It would
you're
give her a
mean.
rash.
It's, that's mean.
Only thinking about her skin, because, you know, the reaction between a vegetarian and bear skin would be like chicken pox.
Oh, she doesn't want your bear rug anyway. What is it, spruce? Actually, that, no, you have my keyboard, VMAC, I know. When you multitask,
It's funny
yeah.
how many words are similar but different between Canadian and American and Australian and American. Colloquial words they use that we don't. And I don't know how the word tire became T-I-R-E when it's always been T-Y-R-E. But Americans will go blue in the face, it's always been tire. Not really. When, you know, Mr. Goodrich started the company, it was T-Y-R-E. I want nothing belonging to any man. Oh, I've lost all the chat. I don't know why.
Oh God, don't tell me YouTube's doing it. She said, I want nothing belonging to any man from YouTube in my hands. I'm going to type something in to see if you see it, okay?
Okay. Just anything. No.
Oh, there.
Yeah,
there you
there
go.
it
You've
is.
got chat.
Maybe it's just not staying around as much.
Chat box is full now. See?
That's what it is, yeah.
Yeah.
The chat box is full.
Yep.
I'll have to convert it into Bitcoin.
We just go to, what's the name's channel? You get $1 billion.
I phrased Bitcoin about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Someone said, I need money. Send me money. I said, I'll send you Bitcoin. What's that? You'll know. It'll come in an email.
Well, I was going to go get ready for bed.
Yep. I think we're going to turtle off. It is a bit cooler, which makes going to bed a bit easier. Buy a Samsung.
No.
No, we just bought 2 new Apple Plus 8s, and they're good. Makes my old iPhone 7 look like a miniature phone.
Oh, well, you can have different phones. Oh, excuse me, I'm yawning. You can have different phones and still communicate, you know. That's why I've got to set up Danny's WhatsApp. But you can have a Samsung and that.
I might, because I've got the 2 phones now, what I might do is use the other phone and get VMAC on the line. I'll have a talkback radio.
What?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Talkback Radio. Tonight, my guest is VMAC from Canada. Good evening, VMAC. How are you?
I've missed the
She'll
first
say-
bit you said.
She'll say, you talking to me. Life after this sleep will never be the same. Well, I hope that's the case, because I think every day should be exactly like that, Chamo.
Android. VMAC likes Android. Blue has
I have a feeling, because
Android.
I am, what do you call it when people are sensitive? Chamo has really good news, and I think it's got to do with monetary gain, which is fantastic. And I think he will share the joy with others. Not the money, Chamo. Don't share the money. Keep the money, just share the joy. Because that's just as much a wealth as real money. Yeah. I only intend to have one person.
Oh, yeah, small chat. Yeah, that's what he wants to do, VMAC.
Oh, I see. I get where this is going, Shamo. I didn't know you could sing, but that's okay. I think having a one-on-one conversation where I say very little, but I want people to devolve their life, not where they live, who they are, what they work at, nothing like that, but just experiences through life, because we've all had an incredible path we've taken.
Oh my God, we're outdone by androids in this room.
Mr. Android, shove it up your bum. iPhone is far
Seeds
more
had an
fun.
Android one. I've never had an Android, but I had to help him with his when he had one, and it was a nightmare for me trying to explain things to him. So,
I won't do panels as such, Blue, but happy to have you up one night just for a chat. You know, like we're sitting in a studio and nice leather chairs and
it does.
talk about stuff
Well,
you've done.
That's like a panel. You've got more than one person. They call
No,
it.
just one person
Yeah.
and me.
But I mean, I finally got him to get another phone. So the next thing is now a different computer.
That'll come. But we all have had extraordinary journeys, every one of us. They've all been unique. Some unpleasantries happen in our lives that we can or can't control. And things that are good have happened. That's what life's all about. You being
panel, one person.
What's the word when people are contradictory? VMAC, what would you say? What would the word be?
I can feel a raindrop.
Confrontational? No, you can't.
I can, on my leg. Did you spit on me then?
I must have, because I'm looking up in the sky and all I see is blue skies.
Not blue, it's night time.
Well, it's still blue if you look close enough. It's sort of a bluey black with the odd speckle of a star.
Every now and then I can hear, you can hear it on that plastic.
As soon as it rains, and it will eventually rain, I'm just going to run a hangout and say nothing. Just have the camera facing outside.
Because it'll be exciting for us.
We'll just be out there just dancing naked in amongst
you will
raindrops.
Be.
Well, yeah, okay. Right. I'm going to get one of them false tattoos on my left butt cheek and it'll say, VMAC was here. Life's like a box of chocolates,
We've met
Kiwi.
People from YouTube, Kiwi.
Yep.
JP.
No, the one thing I don't like, and I hope I'm never guilty of it, is that if, say, Shamo's talking and you can see he's got a rhythm going and he's got a story unfolding, I'm not going to interrupt. I may prompt by asking a question after he's finished. I find that intolerable when you go into a room and there's 4 or 5 people just yelling and screaming and acting like feral chickens. And feral chickens are even better behaved than that. There is no conversation taking place. You're not garnishing anything out of it than dramatic content, like watching a car wreck. What's the point? There's no substance to that type of thing. I hope if I had a chat with VMAC for, say, half an hour, that VMAC has never divulged who, where, what she does, but she's told some stories about her journey, as we've all got, and that would be interesting. No, I did that once, VMAC, and I just stepped back out of the room. Well, the only time we run out of chocolates, VMAC, is when they bury us. Or cremate us, because up until that time, chocolate shall pass your lips.
No, that was Chamo who said about the chocolate, not VMAC.
No, I said Chamo.
Oh, I thought you said VMAC. I have to play that back now. I think I'm tired. I'm not hearing properly.
Must be time for bed. So what we will do, we will say, well, I can work the bloody camera.
Good night. Love yous. Love, 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 love. See, my face is shining because I was a bit hot today. Hey, it's not very good light that you're showing my face in. Gee.
I know VMAC's in here somewhere. Shamo, cover the back door. Cover the back door. Kiwi, close the windows. Whatever you do, don't approach it without a weapon.
Scary.
Have a good day. Good night. It's just a lighting. I'm just a pale man, really.
You scared now?
Have a good day and night wherever you are. Do whatever you can for each other. But remember, don't do it for someone who's a total knob, because that's the wrong thing to do. And by the way, VMAC, where did you bury Bully?
He never came back.
See you next time.